I'm James.
And I'm Matt.
And we play in Make, Do, and Mend, and you're watching the Kerrang video podcast.
Joining me on the Kerrang podcast is James and Matt Carroll from Make, Do, and Mend. You're in the UK on your first ever sort of overseas tour. How's that been for you so far?
It's been amazing so far. I mean, like you said, it's our first time over, so I think we didn't really know what to expect, but all of our friends who have toured over here before have just given rave reviews of shows and just the general atmosphere of the UK, and it's completely lived up. We've really had a blast.
Excellent. So you're over here with fireworks. What are they like as tour buddies?
The best.
Yeah.
The best in the game, really. They're perfect. They're a perfect band to be on tour with because they're extremely easy to get along with, and they're also wild men. Like, we've had a blast every single night, and your guys' culture feeds into our craziness easily because after every show there's club nights, and we've just had a blast. They're very caring and funny people. So it's just been a perfect match for this tour for sure.
The both bands, have you managed to kind of sniff out the after hours bars and stuff with these?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like as soon as the show gets done, you see everybody from the club start to like scurry, and they get everything cleared, and then the music comes on and the lights come on, and it's just like you go from like punk rock show to people showing up like in all dressed up and like club gear and there to dance. So the tables turn very quickly, and it's kind of hard to avoid. So it's been very fun.
We've taken our fair part, and it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
So are your livers crying out for a kind of day off soon?
We, really both bands are not really big like drinking bands, but we really like to sort of just make fools of ourselves.
In the recent issue of Kerrang, you mentioned the origins of the name and how it would link to World War II propaganda about saving money and resources. Have you learned to be extra thrifty when you're touring all the time to save $1 or $2?
We try. I think we're all, or at least I know Matt and I, and myself especially, I'm a fan of like just different little like creature comforts. So I like have to sort of watch those and like not spend my money on like little things to try to save money while we're on tour. But yeah, I mean, you kind of got to be like, you can't really be throwing your money around or else you can get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I've been at points on tour. I kind of become careless with my money, and I look in my bank account. I'm like you need to not eat for like a week. Right. So it's cool because we use the phrase as a way to live on tour, and it helps, because we're at a point where we do have to be smart with how we spend and how we function on tour.
Yeah.
So.
Are you a firm believer in the magic of duct tape that it can't fix?
We have a few rolls in the van right now.
Could you tell us a bit about the Connecticut scene at the moment? Is it in rude health, would you say?
Yeah, it sort of has its ups and downs. While we were, when we started playing shows, it was in pretty poor health. There weren't many young kids coming out to shows. There weren't many young bands, forming and playing shows. So we started putting on shows, tried to really encourage younger people to come out, and luckily we had a few similar-minded bands who did the same, and it really started to build and grow and become a very healthy thing, and it has been that for a while. All the shows are done in like small venues, whether it's like I don't know if you guys have them over here, but like an American Legion Hall,
right,
where it's like just a small room. You bring your own PA, you bring everything.
Is it like for ex-servicemen, those kind of...
Right, exactly, yeah.
But they rent them out to people, and you can
Yeah.
throw shows. And,
So you pay like $200 for the night, and you get to put on a show. And so, venues come and go. Places close down. Like one of the ones in Connecticut that was like the venue, like for young kids to come out to and see bands, recently closed down. So that definitely sort of put a hurt on the Connecticut scene. But there's plenty of really cool young bands from around the area, and a lot of people who are interested in working for an underground scene and making something that's cool happening. So I think it'll continue to be a healthy thing, hopefully.
Cool. Which bands are sort of emerging from the area that you would recommend to the viewers?
There's some cool ones. There's a band called Kids Icarus from Connecticut who are really cool, like post-hardcore, kind of like quicksandy kind of band. There is
Hostage Calm is a band who's been our friends forever, and they're kind of like our brothers in Connecticut, with like helping to build the scene and stuff like that. There's a bunch of other good young bands going on, for sure. But those are two
Cool.
great ones.
So what are your plans for the rest of the year? Say up to the summer.
Yeah, we get home. We actually fly home on the 4th, and a couple days after we get home, we drive to Michigan and we start a full U.S. tour with fireworks again, and a band called the Wonder Years.
We've
from
just
the
been on the
States.
Kerrang tour.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Excellent.
So that should be fun. That's about a month throughout the whole U.S. And we've got some touring in the summer, and then still sort of firming up some stuff in the fall. But we'll definitely be very busy, and we'll definitely be back this way, hopefully later on this year.
Excellent. Because we understand that you're up against the clock when you're recording Unmeasured Mile, and had hours to spare before you had to kind of clear out and hit the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of always like that, to be honest with you, or it has been for the past year, and
Yeah.
which makes it exciting. We're kind of like always up against the clock if we need to get anything done outside of touring, and it makes it a little bit harder, but at the same time keeps us busy and keeps us focused, which is cool. And if I was doing anything, it would be this stuff. So we're happy to be
Yeah.
where we're at, for sure.
Well, that's brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us on the Kerrang
Of course.
podcast. Enjoy the rest of your UK visit, and we'll hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.